FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Butianas, no call! Score!
Salamidis for Cole. Cole on the run. Shoots. 2-0.
Lazanovsky with the free kick. Launches a rocket! Trimboli, what vision! Blasts.
Yes!
Heads it!
Miljevic.
Beautiful ball! Here's Bozanic. They haven't! They might have won it!
The Pioneers with George Donikian and George Kotsanis on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Kotsanis, are you ready?
I am.
Thursday night,
I am G1.
the Pioneers, and you've gone and found an Egyptian. You know they say that wonderful, can you walk like an Egyptian?
The Bengals.
Yeah,
You're not
the
going to
Bengals.
sing, are you?
I'm not going to sing, nor am I going
God,
to dance because they've turned the camera off. He was born in Cairo. I was in Cairo in '93 and again in '97 with a group of South Australians and a couple of Victorians thrown in. And we went to the pyramids. Got the shock of our lives because we're in the coach for about 40 minutes. Yeah, for about 40 minutes.
What sort of a shock could you get at the pyramids, George?
Well, we were sitting there in suburbia, and suddenly, lo and behold, right in front of me, the bus stopped.
Yeah.
I went, why is the bus stopped?
This better finish with our guest being there. Was he there?
No, he wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
But our guest is Michael Mandalis, or Michali Mandalis.
Michali Mandalis. Welcome to the show.
Well,
Michael,
yes.
when was the last time you saw the pyramids?
Oh, I'll tell you. You're talking about the pyramids. I spent the night in the pyramids. When you started talking about the pyramids as a young kid, we went to an excursion with the school. And at the time, because they kicked me out of every other school, I had to go to a Catholic school, right? And I was the only Greek Orthodox kid in that school. So I went to the pyramids. You know, back then they had sand. They didn't have the roads that they have now.
Correct.
And we got up there, so, you know, being Orthodox and Greek in a very Catholic school, I was a villain to them.
A villain?
Yeah, and I didn't like
You're
me.
one of those.
So at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, they started chasing me, you know. So I ran up because, you know, the Cheops pyramid, you could really jump up, and the entrance is just right there. So I ran into the depth of it. Little that I knew, honestly, that they were locking up the doors. And once they lock the doors, nobody's outside the pyramids. They all go home, you know, the camels and everybody.
So no point calling for help.
No, because I enjoyed it. You know, being around.
Another experience of life, and you learnt early to just enjoy and...
Well, you know, experience is just like Greek philosophy. You know, experience happens and then the philosophy is written.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not a philosopher yet. I'm working
He's
on it.
working on it.
You're working on it.
Wise old man.
Well, we've got a little bit of a ritual. No, he's not a wise old man. He's got a sneaky little smile and a glint in his eye as soon as you mention that.
Michali, just wait. He's got this ritual.
Yes.
Let him take you way back to when you were a young man.
Well, since we're in Cairo and we're at the pyramids, well, yes. I want to ask you, do you recall your very, very first soccer memory?
Absolutely.
Tell us about it.
Well, look, my father got some tickets to go to the national ground.
The national stadium.
Yeah, and the Hungarian team that disappeared from Hungary, Puskás was in it.
The great
Margaritis,
yeah.
So I'm getting to see my goosebumps at the moment. So I saw this amazing game, and
how old do you reckon you were at this time? Just
I must
roughly.
have been 9, I think, my friend, you know. But growing up in the streets of Cairo, at 9 years old, you're a 25-year-old in Melbourne, you understand? So
yes.
Your eyes are open, your ears are open, you learn so fast, and you really live in the land of the pharaohs, you know, at the same time. A lot to learn. So...
street smart.
I watched, yeah. We grew up in a Jewish neighborhood.
So you covered all the bases.
I swear
and
to
you're
God,
only 9.
I remember the name of it. It's called Darb el-Yahud, which means the heart of the Judaism.
Wow.
It's amazing. So
you're getting all the culture experiences, and you've got this football thing. So I watched this game in Puskás. Everybody was talking about Puskás back then, guys. So I saw this amazing thing. It was like poetry.
Yeah.
Really like poetry. I didn't know what poetry meant then, but later on, when I played, I used to play poetry to myself, you know, and everything was really, it was a phase of, it was just, let's do it, you know.
You love
Like
to
you
dance.
did.
You
Yeah.
love to dance.
Yeah, you love to dance. Not only that, being there for the moment, especially when Cairo was an amazing place to grow up, especially being a Greek or Italian or Jewish, you know. We all were very close together. And then all of a sudden they start the wars and that bullshit goes on, they separate people, and we're all in Australia.
So that was the reason. That was the big move.
Well,
So who decided? Dad decided you.
well,
needed
you know,
to-
Dad used to work as a chef in the palace of Farouk. So back then, if you worked for Farouk and the government changed, you became a prisoner of the state.
That's right.
Because you don't belong to that party anymore. You know, you just, that's how they did things. So they took us out, we're in the big room, and do you really want to hear all about
Yeah,
this?
sure.
I bet you we do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I used to be I became a thief because I had my own gang, used to go to the streets and get food and take it back home. Because,
It was exciting.
yeah, it was exciting, but back then you had the Brotherhood of Muslims who were trying to get in with Nasser. Nasser really went in and stopped everything. But you really had to survive.
So
Yeah,
battle
with your
of
wits about
survival
you.
of the fittest.
Yeah, and your wits.
But you know, but soccer, as I said earlier on, I saw Pushkas for the first time playing in a ground with grass.
Mm-hmm.
We see, you know, Egypt, the streets of
Same.
Cairo. The streets of Cairo were really like, hello? And everybody played barefooted. And the ball was made out of socks. You know, they put socks and turn it around and all that. And that's where I really became in love with the game. But I never thought then that this game is actually played.
On a proper stadium with
Yes.
grass,
And then...
a real leather ball, and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
boots.
Yeah, yeah, and
boots.
boots. So that was really, I loved growing up in Egypt. It's done a lot to me to be where it got me. And I had a brilliant family, a great father and mother, and yeah.
Okay, so Dad decides that this is not the right time.
No.
And you've got to go to.
This is getting even better, George. You're
Tell
asking
me.
me this. You're reading my mind. My sister Madeline was married to a guy called Stavro Campbell.
That sounds like a really good name. Where do you
Listen
get
to
a Campbell
this.
thrown in?
Stavro
Stavro.
Campbell, right? And you know, and he's got his son is Chris Campbell, who's is an accountant. I'm not building
We're not
up big
knocking.
histories,
No, we're
okay?
not knocking
Okay?
accountants.
Campbell.
No,
Anyway,
not
so
yet.
a lot of people thought he
David might
was
chase me.
Scottish, right? Scottish. He looked like a Scotsman too. His teeth were
Is
like
that
that,
right?
yeah. But
The kilt might have been a giveaway.
yeah,
Might have
maybe
been
I don't know.
Tight
I
with
don't
money,
know.
maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, so we kind of got out of Egypt very quickly. We escaped out of Egypt. We went to this boat where everybody goes to Greece and goes through the
Suez
medical
No, listen to this.
examinations.
Ah.
Now we walked into this room and they said this was the Australian government that was in Greece. Take your clothes off, all of you in the same room. Now, how can I say, with my mother there and everybody? You couldn't do it. So my father really, my dad was a tall man, a strong man, a man from the streets of Alexandria. He was a tough man, and light-headed too, really light hair. So you really talk to them to get mom in a different, and my sister in a different. Anyway, so going through the medical examinations, and by treated as fugitives in Greece, they took us to the bunkers in the what do you call them? The Navy post.
Wow.
And we slept in this, those half-canned
Yeah.
barrel, the big one, and we had bunks everywhere. But
Paradise.
if I go there, we won't talk about soccer, but I like this side better anyway.
So you see what's happening?
Yeah.
My parents,
Yeah. Yes.
my father left Greece in '49.
Oh, wow.
Came with a Turkish merchant vessel to where? Alexandria. Waited 4 days for their ship, an Italian ship, to bring them to Australia.
Yes,
Now you've gone the other way. You're
Yeah.
an Egyptian
Yeah.
and you've gone to Greece
But-
to get sanctuary
Yes.
from the Australian government who's looking for migrants.
And for the Greek government too, but listen to what happened. We arrived in this broken ship in the port of Piraeus, the whole family, right?
Yep.
So, by
Might have been owned by Onassis.
it was called, I forgot the name of it, my God, Prahran. Anyway.
Wow.
And we arrived in Piraeus. And in Piraeus, like all good Greek Orthodox people, there's that big church of St. Nicholas that really, protects
Everything and everyone.
Except the money.
So that's what we saw. But the trip to Greece from Alexandria, guys, it was a big shipment of bananas. The Greeks who were bringing their cars, and they had them tied up in chains on the boat. And all of a sudden, where you cross the currents through near Crete from Alexandria, the waves and the current underneath used to toss the ship up like a piece of paper, guys. And the chains break. And the kids were watching.
G2, you noticed that Mandalis remembers the waves because that's what a 9-year-old does. Remembers all the exciting stuff.
Yes, sir. Sitting there, we were laughing. We were laughing not only that because of the ship was going like, I've never seen a false stiff before. So all these old people that fall stiff will fall out. And because there was water everywhere, they'll be swimming around, But eventually we got to Piraeus with no cars. All the cars just slided down and went into the ocean, the Mediterranean. Another lost city of Atlantis going down. But the thing was that when we arrived in Greece, the captain, guys, was a beautiful, handsome man, Greek man with white hair. And he was really looking around to see if everybody was okay. As we were walking out, he gave every person from that ship a bunch of bananas.
That's a gift. And you know what? The bonus on that is that the Greek ship was having trouble and was getting tossed around, and cars were flying, and false teeth were flying, and the captain was still there at the end of the cruise.
Correct.
That's a first.
That's exactly
Probably
right.
a last.
That's not the formula.
That's not like the Greek
modern formula. No.
But they were different back then.
Yeah, no. So you got your bananas.
We got the bananas.
You're in the Navy camp.
So we got the banana. No, we're staying around. We kind of put the bananas outside this Sakharoplastio,
Which is a sweet shop.
Yeah, which is patisserie.
Yeah,
So we said, Papa, Mama, we want a real Greek kataifi, galactobourico, baklava. Can we go here? Talking about being welcome in the country of origin, we walk inside, and of course our main language, we spoke in Greek at home. Outside, we spoke Arabic in the streets.
Yes.
So as we entered a street, we were told to speak Greek by our parents. So we walk in, and our Greek, as you can understand, it was quite good, actually. So we walked in, and we started talking to each other. We're happy. All of a sudden, guys, this Iona turns around and tells his mates, we're playing tavli, like means backgammon in the corner. Look at the Arapaja, look at the Arabs, they can speak Greek. My father
would have been furious.
He goes to my mother, Eleni, take the kids and leave. Oh, said Eleni. I beat the shit out of this guy. He broke everything.
So that's how you made it to Australia.
Mate.
It was the furthest penal outpost that the English and the Greek government could ever identify.
Absolutely.
To Alex at the photo.
Hola.
And did you get your kataifi?
Yeah, we got everything.
Oh, that's right. That's
the
the main
police
thing.
arrived.
You don't
The
wanna- you don't wanna
police
have a
arrived,
fight. All right.
and my father, had English pounds at the time.
Oh,
Big,
So
big
he
money.
asked them,
Yeah, relatively.
"What's the damage?"
Yeah. I'll
He
cover
paid the
this.
man. He told the policeman what he said. He said, "But I enjoyed beating him."
Gee.
How dare he? The Alexandrian Greeks get treated that way. Wow.
You wouldn't have copped any of that in Australia, would you?
Oh shit.
When did you finally make it to Australia?
Mate, 28th of January 1958.
50. You were a latecomer, huh? My father
Yeah.
arrived in 49. You
That's-
came in 58.
Yeah, that's why I was late here earlier on too.
Oh, you didn't get out of jail until 58. I see.
But it was funny arriving in Australia because we were on a boat. called
Another boat?
Castelfelice.
Oh, gee.
Italian. The Italians were really
Italians
bringing
did a
them
great
in.
job.
But it's funny. The Greeks and Italians have a lot in common. We need 3 hours, George.
Did you play football
George, we
on
did
the
3
on the
hours.
boat? Did you play football on
Oh,
the
we
boat?
did. We did play. We had a ball tuck on the deck. We used to play soccer all the time. So we had the Germans, the Italians, and us.
The World Cup.
It's on top there. And my brother Costas was the captain, of course, of the team. It was made out of 4 brothers. He was our captain.
Wow. So you had a built-in team already?
Oh yeah, we had fun. There was table tennis, and it was funny because we got sick and tired of eating pasta every day.
Are you going to tell
You
me another
can't
story
possibly
where you were
have said-
stealing on the boat?
No, I was born a thief, and I learned my lesson in Australia. And this time I was honest.
Oh.
We're playing cricket at Greville Street, and do you remember these old lunch little suitcases that the old digger used to take to work
That's right.
with them?
Yep. You use that as your wicket.
The Gladstone bag.
I found one.
And you use it as a wicket.
But George, I found it.
Oh, you found it?
I found it, George.
Where did you find it? And how did you
In
find
Greville
it?
Street under a tree.
Oh, yeah.
It belonged to somebody else.
Look at that look on this guy here, George Kotsanis.
He's scared.
I'm gonna really get him a uniform next time, and then I might feel it. I might feel a bit deeper.
Officer Dibble, yeah.
Opa, there you are. His hands are crossed now, guys. And I took it to the police station. I took the money to the police station. So I ran home and told my father.
Oh, no.
He said, bullshit.
Oh, no.
You found this much money and you took it to the police station. He went to the police station. It was true.
Oh, dear.
It was I think a month of money was in the station, the Prahran station. I don't know if you've been to the Prahran police station.
No, I haven't. In all those years, no, I haven't.
It's like, I think it was the first building in Australia.
Right, is that old?
The very heavy building, but it was. So anyway, they gave me the money because nobody claimed for it.
How fantastic. So, with that money, what did you buy? Did you buy
I
any
got my
boots?
brothers and we went to go whatever we want.
He blew it, basically.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So, where did you live when you first came to
In
Australia?
Prahran,
Oh, you
27
so-
Percy Street behind the Legates.
All right. So,
We'll never
where the
forget.
markets are today.
Exactly, near there.
Near there.
Yeah.
So you felt at home.
Not really, mate.
The ecclesia, the church.
No, the church came after we
Oh, the
arrived.
church came
Yeah,
after.
we were two Greek families in that street.
What was Prahran like in '58?
Quiet.
White
And-
Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
It was very quiet and very, very much so. But then you saw how simple it was as well. The people.
Well, compared to Cairo.
Well, we came from a very
Because you would have had
noisy,
what, about 10, 15 million people in Cairo?
I really don't know, because wherever you look
Huge.
at any time, that bridge that goes over the Giza Bridge that takes you to the pyramids, that never stops. It's like ants
No,
day and
it's
night.
constant.
Yeah.
And in those days, Australia would have had a population around about 7 million.
We did well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did right. So when did you start playing football?
Yeah,
Oh.
let's get on to the
Yeah, we went to South Yarra. All right, George, I'll get there. All right.
I just don't want the police to come knocking.
They know your number, mate.
No, the statutory
Yeah.
period
Tell him
has
my
been
George,
well and truly
George.
past.
Tell him my connections, all right?
Yeah, he's well connected.
Very well connected.
Yeah.
Sure he is.
He's
So-
the father of Eleni, no worries.
So I went to South Yarra. There's a place called Faulkner Park in Prahran, opposite the
Yeah,
Upper
we know
Hospital.
Faulkner Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw some people playing soccer, and they used to call it South Yarra Soccer Team.
One of the
And-
oldest clubs, if not the oldest club in Victoria.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I started there, and we had a team, and as long as we bought 2 bob, and the guy who was in charge of the team, I played under 16s, and I was just 13 at the time.
I was just going to say, because you were playing for South Melbourne at 15.
At
weren't you?
15, yes.
So
that-
clearly your birth certificate covered your tracks.
completely.
Completely. I'm 12,
Yeah.
and I look like a 16-year-old.
No, but see, we had a coach, Bill Horse, his name was, and what I liked playing South Yarra, because all these wogs were coming from everywhere now, and we get some English kids, English and Europeans were playing the game, right? And the other grounds were playing cricket. There were
Yeah,
two
boots.
about AFL boots.
Right up
Dino
to your
DiMarchi and I,
Oh, they weren't
we played the
AFL
under
boots,
14
they were
Victorian
Aussie
Sydney
rules boots.
with Aussie rules boots. It was only about
So the big block toe,
4 and 6pence.
is that
back
right?
then.
Big block toe.
Mate, there was an
High
iron, there's a
ankle.
metal in front.
Yeah, and the big
metal in
high
front.
ankles,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But you know, we
You can
made
dribble
do.
with that.
So played for South Africa for a while. Then we discovered Hakoah. You know, Hakoah Juniors. They wanted Hakoah St Kilda. It was McFadgen was his name, the old man, brilliant man. And the people that took care of the players back then, they did it through love and passion. Because a lot of them left from England, and they carried that passion. And with us, that passion came to reality. And to us even more. Because we played in grounds with grass. You know, it made a big difference. So through there, I played, became the top goal scorer of the juniors, under 14s, under 16s.
Were you always a goal scorer?
Yes.
Tell me that you were never a winger.
Never a winger.
Good. Very special. You've just, in my estimations, have gone up just another notch.
Oppa!
And we've
Yes, there's the winger.
turned it into a half
I
hour
can,
show.
no, but I can understand
Yeah, well,
why he's asked me.
He's fearing of anyone that's got any skill. That's what he's
Oh.
No. George, wingers, you know, they got a job to do back then.
That's right.
You run
Deliver the
fast
ball.
and you
Yeah.
go boom.
That's
Understand?
it. Deliver the ball.
But imagine now when I grew up and played for all the Victorian under 14, under 16s, and to tell you, I was talking to Otia Bonnie on the telephone, and a lot to Dino Di Marchi. We still keep in touch.
They were great characters.
And there were great players then back then. You know, like Bihari from Hungary, Melbourne, Hungary, Jimmy Kostaklis, Arnold Piet, a smorgasbord of amazing players.
Tell us about the referees.
Back then,
Yeah.
she'd be right, mate.
Did they talk to you?
We couldn't open our mouth. If you opened up your mouth, you were told off.
In any language?
No, in English. We had to learn very fast, very fast. But they did what they could. But back then, I think they had a better system because football was governed by the English body. So therefore, they knew rules and regulations like English do, you know. So they taught them how to ref up to that capacity, you know. It was they were all fair and they all had fun. But junior, as I said, you know, the best times I enjoyed my football was when we played for Victoria with Artie and all these amazing players.
Against the New South Wales.
Oh, we tore them apart.
You taught them.
Well, I'll tell you why. I was telling George Kotsanis earlier on. We were blessed as juniors in this country to really climb the ladder of football. And the reason being that a lot of communist countries got run away, the players, I was telling George before, and they all played for the national teams when they left. They came here. So because we watched Pele and Puskás on little videotapes with Real Madrid, Odi and I and Kostaklis and Bihari and many others would go and imitate them.
Which is what people do today.
Today, but,
whether it's Ronaldo or Messi or
yeah,
anyone.
yes, absolutely. And with Oti, you know, I told George before, I met a guy at the Hallis in Hakoah. His name is Paddy Sloan. He was the first British ever player to sign in Italy or Europe. Paddy Sloan, his name is. Look it up, please.
Inter Milan, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he always told me that with Oti we used to sit down and we played amazing games together. Amazing games. I left Hellas for a year to go and join Melbourne to play with Oti for another year because I knew after that.
You were having so much fun.
We were rock and rolling, George. We really enjoyed the game. We were smiling, George. You know how some guys lose the ball and they go, oh shit. You know, we never said that. We'll just let it go and get it and do it again. Yeah, and do it again. But this, Paddy Sloan taught me, as you improve, have the best game, learn some more. What can you learn? Don't sit on your butt. Don't sit on your butt, because if you sit on your butt, this is where you get to stay for the rest of your life.
So if you have the ball, you do something with it. If you haven't got the ball, learn how you can get the ball back.
Absolutely. We got the ball back, but we were taught back then when to dribble and when not to dribble. So if you got into the 18-yard line, and the reason being that I became such a young top goal scorer in the country here, right? Because I knew, again, I was told by Johnny Margaritis and Bully Kambouropoulos that if you're in the 18-yard line, we've been fighting from back there to get here,
That
get
place
some
there.
results.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's not what's happening today.
And you took that responsibility. Yes, you shouldered that responsibility. You're happy to take that responsibility.
He loved it.
Yeah.
I would have loved it.
I was telling you, of course I'll take it. You know, it's if you're playing to score, the game is about winning, right? But to have fun.
Do you know what you're saying? You're saying we had no tension,
Nothing at all.
no stress, no tension.
Nothing
We're
at
playing
all.
for fun.
Nothing at all.
You know when you're training G2, yeah, and you're running around, you've nutmegged everybody. You can do anything because you're not obliged to be, as they say, too concerned about where the ball's going to go, and you can do magical things.
That's not training. That's how we play.
That's
But,
We're not worried about stuff when we play.
okay.
But we're about to tell us about some of the players now. South.
Well, I'll give one you we know, huh?
Yeah.
How did you get from?
Hang on,
Hakoah.
how did South Melbourne ever let you go?
Oh, I'll tell you that, but in time, because I've got to tell you how I got from Hakoah.
Yeah.
Hakoah, I went to Hakoah as a junior, as I said, right?
That's right.
So
12 years of age.
yeah, 13.
13, yeah, right, sorry.
And of course, the Greeks were crazy, and we shared the same ground. And every time I played, I saw these people coming to watch. One day, in 11 Walker Street Prahran, that we moved the house, the Greek priest, Cortesis, the head priest, said he came with Mr. Margaritis back then, and Leo and what's his name?
Anasakis.
Anasakis.
I think it might have been.
Saw me.
Yeah.
He discovered me.
Former president of South Melbourne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and did a lot even before South Melbourne for the football. He came and approached Kurt de Vries. Kurt de Vries is the most humble, beautiful man, a gorgeous man, and he was funny, Kurt de Vries. You know, he used to have his own chair, and he'd go and sit just behind the corner flag, or above the corner flag, and watch the game. So the priest came and talked to Kurt de Vries, and you know, the Greek boy into a Jewish club, this and that and the other.
We need him over here.
Yeah, so they gave Kurt some money to pay some electricity bills, you know.
Wheeling and dealing.
And that's how I ended
Quid
up.
pro
Yeah.
quo. That's how it works.
But that's how I ended up in Hellas with.
So the Greek church finally got you across to South Melbourne.
God came into it, man. You know,
Tell us about Margaritis.
Margaritis.
Well, because
look,
he helped to shape
listen,
the future of this club that was basically established in 58-59.
Not only that club.
No, but
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
Australian football at the time, but with the club, what he did, and I'll tell you why. I can understand what you both are saying. Margaritis grew up here, pushing trolleys in the fish market when he arrived in Australia. The fish market once upon a time was in Spencer Street and Flinders Street there. Eventually, he went to the Foot Street market, and he became a member of the British Empire. He had that upon him. So, he was the link between the Greeks and connecting to Australia.
MBE.
But he had a wonderful way of amalgamating things together.
He was
And not-
respected.
But he wasn't taking one side or the other. He was always very humble, a very, very humble one. And he always smiled. If we scored a one, you'll never see him clap. He just smiled. And it is aristocratic essence within him.
Happy on the inside.
Very happy. But now, to create a team, Greece for football, soccer, was not really regarded anybody during those years. Just imagine that man, Margaritis, went to South Melbourne with the Hamilton brothers, and created South Melbourne Hellas later on. Guys, I've never seen happier, what do you call them? The people the migrants, being happy and comfortable in Australia for the first time.
Every Sunday at the football.
Sunday. Many Polakakis, we had Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday training.
And they'd be there.
They'll be there 4,000 or 5,000 of them. And they'll bring us goodies. Yes, you know, Pasatempo, this and the other, we know. But within that mixture, of course, you don't have just a good president. Many Polakakis arrived in the club. Or he was,
coach.
you know,
Team of the century coach.
mate, I'm so, well, that team of the century, we have to really talk about it because it's sad that they really picked up overnight some people call it the team of the century. There is no team of the century. There is a team every decade. The team of the century, how can one lot of spectators of a certain era
That's a fair
Ask the board at the time.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s
Exactly.
when
But
they
that's
had
a
their
very
fair-
good logical
No,
argument.
it's a very fair one.
Yeah.
Look, one of the greatest problems I have is this modern penchant in people to pick the GOAT, the greatest of all time. How absurd is that?
There isn't.
There is no such thing.
There isn't.
Pelé in '58,
There
in the early '60s and the '70s was Pelé.
Correct.
Yeah, Maradona during the '70s, during the late '70s, early '80s, was breathtaking, and even up to 1990 in Italy, still led
And the World Cup
Argentina.
in America, and
Oh, yeah.
the way, I mean, he beat the British Empire
Oh,
with that
yeah.
hand of God,
Well,
you know.
it wasn't so much a hand of God; it was the fact that he was allowed by the referee
Yeah.
to continue playing.
So God gave something to the referee.
No,
So-
he just put sunglasses across their eyes. They couldn't see what was going on.
But yeah.
No, I take your point. I take
No,
your
no,
point. It's a
no.
good point.
But really, I don't believe.
But
in it.
Poulakakis was acknowledged.
Well,
as a
I
coach.
think Poulakakis was
Special
the
coach.
greatest coach ever. You
Why?
know,
Why?
And I'll tell you why.
Yep.
Think of this. You're traveling around the world, and you're picking players from all over the world, and in about 4 months' time, you got an amazing team from different languages, different cultures, communicating, playing a system of 4-4, and they all understand each other. And he taught us through football, and that's an amazing thing to do. And he did it, and he was a sort of a coach that would go and do 3 hours technique every day. You can ask Eddie Smith, shooting practice, headers, dribbling. Oh, it was brilliant. But you've seen the games. The football that we played back then was elite. Elite in the sense that, don't forget, we were not competing, but we were imitating the greats of Pelé, Puskás, and George.
So you were entertainers.
Well, I think we're all artists. Painting their way, but in the end, it's one big painting, and everybody enjoys it. And the witnesses were the migrants who went home happy, who were proud to go back to their factory next day and say, "Hey, the Greek Hellas team won!" That was a big thing for the Greeks.
It was an iconic club that made such a huge difference at that time. It gave you peace. It gave you bragging rights. It gave you a license to thrill, didn't it?
Mate, I'll tell you what. When I stopped playing football, and I'm sure we need 3 hours. You said it, we can't, And he said, "Okay."
I'll give you the 3 hours, but I don't make the decisions.
Okay, we'll make it. God, the
Who
hand of
makes the
God.
decisions?
Oh, we'll
That's-
talk later.
that's
We'll
Athos.
get to talk later. Stefanos. Hi, Stefanos.
Athos.
Athos. Wow, an ancient Greek name too. Bravo, Athos.
We go and find the ancient Greeks
Wow.
everywhere.
Anyway, we
I'm the
won't tell
oldest ancient
anybody.
Greek.
But the beauty of the game was that we had this amazing man, and I met Teddy Smith and Johnny Bedford, and
Tell us about Johnny Bedford
oh,
as a player. And
Did
as
you
a man.
guys score 17 goals apiece, or did you notch one more than Johnny Bedford that year?
no, you're talking about Jimmy Adams.
Oh, Jimmy Adams.
Jimmy Adams was after my title, the bugger.
Ah.
And he played on the left wing, great
He's
player,
very
great respect,
competitive human being.
very competitive. Very
I saw it firsthand. don't
If
worry.
Hitler hired him, he would have won the war.
Oh, goodness.
He was very dedicated to rules and regulations,
Gee.
But he was taught good football the British way. The 1-2, the good shot, and you don't stop. But he played a role with us as well. But Adam came later on. When you're talking about Bedford, you're
Talk to us
talking about,
it.
what are you talking about, how can I say, the George Best, not in tricks, but with the Dennis Law, the Jackie Charlton, the Bobby Charlton, he had all that conversation, but above all, he had stamina, power, and persistence. He never stopped talking. Come on, Mikey. Come on, Bully. Come on, Dad. They had to learn a few Greek words. Teddy Smith.
Him and Teddy.
Teddy Smith.
What were the words? No, let's not go there. No.
Well,
No,
I can
no,
tell
no.
you, every time I pick up the phone from Teddy,
Yasu.
I get a yassle.
Yasu.
So I can imagine that those two would have been driving the team in their own way, wouldn't they? Together.
Well,
They were a big ingredient.
You
weren't they?
you have a guy by the name of Ted Smith who played for the 1956 Olympic Games in the soccer team.
Yeah,
That's right.
And then you have a young kid who was an AFL football player,
Yep.
Yep.
and every AFL club wanted him.
Yep.
Bedford.
But, Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny was
Star.
he was a gun. He was a
Mm.
gun. He played anywhere.
Gee.
Centre half, right backs, centre forward.
Tell me he wasn't goalkeeper.
He played once goalkeeper. A goalkeeper got sent off in a night game, and Johnny went to goalkeeping.
They were the days when you could tackle them,
Yep.
the goalkeepers.
Yeah. Well, you can bump them.
Yeah. You never bumped them, did you?
I never had a yellow card in my life.
I think
Never.
they should still get
Never.
bumped today.
Sorry.
I think they should still get bumped today, even off the field.
Would Sinas ever referee you? No.
No.
Vucinas?
Dennis.
No, but yes, he did.
He did.
He did.
he
We're
good
friends with Dennis. Actually, he sent me a
A text.
text about coming here tonight, and
You know, he sat in that chair a few weeks back.
did he? I'm so
Oh, yeah.
glad,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you brought him here. What a dedicated man to the game.
He was.
And
He
his
gave you a
beautiful
different
wife,
flavour.
lovely lady, his
Uh-huh.
wife, delightful lady. Sorry, Dennis, well, I can't remember your wife's
Claire.
name, and you're
Claire.
so lucky I
Claire.
don't remember.
Try
Okay.
Claire.
Claire.
Yeah. How
Okay,
clear?
Dennis moved. I remember I was staying somewhere in St Kilda Road, and he came home and had nothing to eat. He went and bought a chicken, and he made it in the oven with onions. Wow, Dennis, when can we
What a
see you
cook.
again?
This is better than Uber Eats.
Yeah, that's all right. We're getting better. Another word for you, or two words.
Yes.
Or one word. Here we go. Nestoridis.
Oh,
Explain.
again another structure. Here I am. Plays Greece versus Egypt again, you know, and he's there. And I see Nestoridis, and everyone was.
This is when you're still in Cairo, right? You
Well,
watched
yeah.
him,
Well, yeah. I think after we were in Greece, we
Oh, okay, yeah.
much more.
Yeah.
And there's something whistling in my ear.
That's just the fly. Don't worry about it.
Not very friendly flies.
No, that's right.
This one.
It's Louis the fly.
Yeah. So Nestoridis, I watched him play, and I think I told George Kotsanis that I have a tape that I did a thing from Greece, Australia, with Nestoridis
Wow.
and myself expressing what players he loved in Australia. And I'll bring it to you guys. It's all in Greek, but it's fascinating to see what he did for AEK and how he beat players. Now, seeing him as a young child, and he's my hero, next thing I'm sitting next to him, I'm playing with Nestoridis.
Wow.
I said, God, I don't want to be rich or wealthy. Just give me more experience.
Did the fans appreciate it at Middle Park?
Wow. Look,
Is it true, or is it a myth that he would score from corner kicks direct?
that's not a myth. He scored 7 in his life and one against Real Madrid.
Oh well, okay.
There you
Cool.
go.
So it's true.
It's
I
so
just needed
true.
to check.
He could just bend.
Mate, I was with him, and
This
he
is the
taught
old
me.
football, eh?
He taught me how to do that kick,
Yeah.
and I taught other kids in the States, you know, and I can still teach them now. But it's very hard to get into the system here because I think that all the guys that they haven't got a way to show. I've got a friend of mine, Harry, who's here actually sitting quiet. I go to him and watch this amazing coach at the moment who's taking care of juniors. And this man should be brought here, guys, to talk to him. They're playing football, these kids, from 6-year-olds to what, 14, 15? But they're playing football, guys, and all that's all he does. He gets them out there and let them express themselves with the football, with the talent. It's easy. His name is Michael. I forgot his last name. Michael McBain, I think. Something like that. I'm getting a note to, yeah. You say it, George. What's his name?
McBride?
McBale, was it?
Yeah.
McBale.
Michael McBale.
McBride,
is it?
He's right, yeah.
I can't read.
Yeah, put your glasses on.
Thank you. McBride.
So we've come back to Nestoridis.
Yes.
Even from Nestoridis, I learned so much. What Nestoridis said is exactly what I told you before. He was in the 18-yard line. Inside, it's a goal. It's a goal. He danced with the goalkeeper while he hits an opponent in front of him. He looked at the goalkeeper. He did two sways. his shoulder was leaning so much down that his shoulders would practically touch the grass, guys. And that's what I learned from him. And he gave me more confidence. Don't forget, guys, I broke 2 legs.
You broke both your legs.
But no, the same leg twice on the same ground.
What were you doing wrong?
I was too fast for them. and it's really, I really thank players like that I had around me, that I continued, and I still won 5 premierships with Hellas.
Fantastic.
Only the 5.
Yes. You want some more?
Who was your goalkeeper in the championship teams at South Melbourne?
Oh, we had Marco Ford, we had Seb Servis, we had Kayoglu didn't play very much. He played at least 1.5 games maybe, but you know, he was there.
He's in the photo.
Yeah,
he's in the photo.
Yeah, a lot of people getting photos. I mean,
we're talking to Michali Mandalis, Michael Mandalis, who used to be an inside forward. Used to spend a lot of time scoring goals, especially for South Melbourne. In the 60s, when the football in the Victorian State League was all-conquering, all-powerful, and as Michael alluded to, there were players from all over the world who had fled the communist uprising in Europe and had made Australia their sanctuary.
And poverty, they fled poverty.
Yes, they came for a new life, an opportunity to express themselves. And you found yourself playing amongst them. In '65, you were part of the Victorian state team that took on the Moscow Torpedo.
No, that was 64.
64?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
64, because I bought a photo show to Kotadis.
And you also took on Chelsea.
Chelsea and Bratislava, I think they came here, and quite others. Because they don't have, as you gather more records, I mean...
the records are being collated and they're getting better. And
good on you,
thanks
mate.
to Mark Borich, we're getting all those state games.
Thanks,
Marco's doing it. Well done.
Great job there.
He's thorough. Absolutely
He's
thorough.
beyond thorough.
You know, Hellas really, guys, was an institution. And...
But what was it like stepping up and playing with the best of the best for Victoria and then again playing against those touring teams? Was it another level up or what? Tell me.
Look, back then, we lived it according to the level. We did not say we're going to play like this or like that. We know the system we're going to play, but we had the tools and we're always ready for anything to come over. And if you try and really to reach that level at the same time, you forget your own level. So you'll be looking at them without really playing your own game.
Mm.
So you played your own game. Who was
all the time.
Who was the coach or the coaches of Victoria?
Well, you know, I was really quite... I had Rasic. Really.
Why does that make you laugh?
I love Rasic, you know.
Did he speak Greek?
Yeah, a few words here and there, yeah. But don't forget, he's a yes, exactly, that, he used to say that. But Rasic was a football fanatic. Rarely, if you're watching, we went on a bus somewhere all together, and I sat next to you for 2 hours.
Was it painful?
Well, I didn't want to fall asleep because you know, but his football knowledge to take a team in 1974, where the best players in the world were on stage, to take a team in Germany.
Part-timers.
Rasic, you really are amazing to do that. And I hope to God that everybody can really see you for what you've done. You deserve a lot, mate.
We're talking about the 74 Socceroos, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Not only that, but what he did after with Victoria.
You mentioned the 74 Socceroos. The goalkeeper, 74, was Jack Riley. Did Jack play at South Melbourne too at that time?
Yeah.
He played later on. You would have Hakoah, didn't you? You were together at Hakoah.
We played at Hakoah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened. He asked me why I left Hellas.
Yeah. It wasn't because of Jack.
No.
Tell us
nothing like that.
Tell us why you left Hellas.
Well, things were getting a bit out of hand at the time, and a lot of good players were not happy with the situation, with a lot of players that used to come in and bully themselves in. Yes, a lot of people are afraid to say it, but it's true, it happened. I'm not going to mention any names, but to leave Bully left in 73 as well. I left in 73 as well. Then Johnny De Paris was really coming to he left as well. So there was a problem at Hellas. So I asked very politely, I'd like really to go back to my team, Hakoah, and I went to Hakoah, and Sammy Myers was the coach at the time. You got to mention Sammy. And And Simon Myers was the coach, and that's why a lot of players left Alice. And it was a different type of thing, you know. We had it, we're happy. Then again, Alice carried on.
What were your memories of Hakoah?
Hakoah was really. When I went back, I was really with open arms.
Yep.
With open arms, and we had a team that we all loved each other. As a matter of fact, Mike Clary is somebody you should bring here sometime and talk about football and the way he played for Alice. And don't forget, the kid was amazing, amazing. You talk to Michael, he's amazing.
Yep.
And the year we won the Doherty Cup in 1973.
Yep.
If you look at the teams that we beat, nothing was easy.
Yeah.
We had Les Erdy as the president. God bless whenever you got Kurt de Vries, and Sam Myers as a coach. And we had a bundle of players: Gadsby, Waldyke, as I said, Bichevsky.
Young Bichevsky.
Johnny Anderson.
No, Johnny Anderson came later on.
Andreas Roussis.
No, that's Hakoah now.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You forgot to take your tablets.
That happens regularly. It happens regularly. G2 tells me you haven't taken your tablets.
I'm too polite to tell you.
Oh, I know what tablets you take. You're all right. But Hakoah was really a thing. We won the Doherty Cup that year, and honestly, for the 18 or about 75 spectators that we had, and I think, it was a big thing to win something at Olympic Park. I guess Alexander? I don't remember who we played against. But we kicked
huge crowds there.
Yeah, huge. And all the Greeks came, of course, because we were neighbors with Hakoah. And of course I used to get it, go Michali, go Michali. Hakoah I really enjoyed a lot. It was really lovely. A club that nobody really was much money, but yes.
You mentioned money. How passionate were the fans at Middle Park?
Oh, listen. You remember the Stanley Young stores? They used to have the Greek program, and they used to sell the records and everything. They used to sell bombonières and everything.
I'm not as old as you guys. How can I remember that?
I know.
Don't look at me. I was in Sydney.
But anyway,
yeah.
I'll
trust you.
teach you more now.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Open your
I'm
ears.
listening.
Okay. George, in when we played for Hellas, all the players were treated amazingly by the migrants. You know, there was nothing else. Settlement Hellas was like a country, like a power for these people to come and feel free. As you know, we had this racial discrimination, you know, but came Saturday or Sunday,
stars.
It was their time, and the reason I really played for Hellas, I enjoyed, was the migrants. You know, to come from a village and to discover football in Australia for the first time, and to make that your home every weekend, and to bring, they all used to get dressed, remember, George? The suits, the coats, the ties, respect to the place.
Yeah.
You don't get that
Makes
anymore.
a difference.
You don't get that anymore.
The photos of the time show that everyone was dressed to the hill.
Oh, yeah.
You've done a bit of acting.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Tell us about.
Well, look, I've been very fortunate in my life.
You've done a lot of different things, but tell us about the acting.
Well, the acting, I in Australia, I did with a guy called Paul Cox.
Oh, yes.
An amazing Australian director. Paul and I, we became very good friends. I had a little taverna in High Street, Armadale, George, you remember that? And all the artists, like Luba, all this, and 90% of my customers are all Jewish. And they used to come and they loved my place. So, where was I?
Acting.
Acting, yeah. What? It must be the year. I forgot to take my tablets. I'm sorry, people.
That's all right.
All of
So-
us now.
I know the feeling.
Paul Cox used to come and he said, "Look, Michali was making his movie My First Wife." Oh,
And he needed some characters.
yes, he had me inside. Yes, it was so funny. It was really, yeah.
Do you take direction well?
Very well.
Mm.
Very well.
Well,
If you're honest
Foxy
with
would
me,
have
I'll
liked
take
you very
anything.
much.
But you get the imposters wherever you go,
Aye.
right?
Yeah.
So that one, I hit them on the head a little bit. And then they need tablets. So, yeah, so I played in Men of Flowers, My First Wife, and his movie that he made through the eyes of Vincent van Gogh. We became very close with him. He bring his script, and yeah, we'll read it. But talking about movies, I played a part with the famous Werner Herzog. Have you heard of Werner Herzog, the greatest cinematographer
I have now.
ever? You asked a question, George. You get an answer. So,
He's a
Werner Herzog. You remember this?
Yes.
We all became one back then, you know. So I played in with the Green Ants Dream. It's an Australian with a lot of Aboriginals. But now I'm helping I helped a young player, Aboriginal director, Wayne Blair. He did the Sapphires and he's very famous.
Right.
I've been mentoring Wayne for a long time, and now I got this other guy, Donikian, who they own the Vanilla restaurant. He's a great up-and-coming cinematographer. So I got Andoni, an indigenous boy, lad, working together. They became best of friends.
It's called Fusion.
Is that what it's called? Bravo.
No.
And it's fascinating. They've been writing some things, and yeah, I've been involved with that. And I love it because it's nice, Georges and Athos of Wikipedia, that you reach a certain age and you're still wanted. And I pray to God, to all people who have soccer teams, do not throw the old experience away. You're losing so much. You're losing so much knowledge. Ask them, bring them, and they'll be happy to help. True, George?
Absolutely, and it sounds like you're willing to help, and I can tell by the pride in your voice that you're enjoying mentoring these young
Very
fellas.
much.
Michali, what was the highlight for you in all those years? Was there one highlight above all others?
Look,
Couldn't
the
complain.
goal of
Other
my...
than the birth of your child?
Well, look, I have 3 children, 3 girls, and
Blessed.
a boy in America.
Association, yep.
And Elena, my oldest daughter, she's into acting. If you look at Elena Mandalis on the computer, she won an award in Cannes.
There you go.
With Helen Kokinos,
Very
the
good.
director.
Congratulations.
But it's in the family too, you know. If they love art is a beautiful thing, and that's why I'm saying, new coaches and new committees, do not step on art. Bring back the old players for opinions. We lost that. We lost everything, and I'm very, very sad talking about that. I'm worried about our future as a national team. I mean,
we have a crop of youngsters that are on the periphery at the moment, but they're getting closer and closer to the centre, and they'll bring a new layer of polish and style.
Yeah.
It won't happen this year. In the next 2 or 3 years, we have a tendency in life sometimes to see things darker than they really are,
Yeah.
and sometimes a little brighter than
Yeah,
they
but
really are.
I've been in dark and the light side.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what means darkness,
Go.
right? There's a lot of talent out there,
Yeah.
a lot of talent. But what we are lacking today is to take the kids the transition time.
Yeah,
You
the
understand?
opportunity.
The transition, to have the quality of understanding of football to be able to pass on to these kids. We don't have that. You don't see a junior in the A-League kicking ass. We don't.
Well, I did. Last year we saw young Daniel Azani.
One.
Yeah, but you know, but
Well, he is
yeah,
allowed.
he's allowed. He
He's
came in
allowed.
there,
He's one.
but it is good to have 20 and 30 by now.
Oh, yeah.
We've had these methods for many years. In that, we haven't seen any juniors coming through, and this is my problem with South Melbourne at the moment. I'm there, and thank God now we got a lady came into the committee, Gabriela, who's become the vice president.
Congratulations, that's great.
Yeah, and we can see that football will have to be reborn again. Our style of football. Harry Kuehl's, Vidukas, Cahill's, and all these people, that quality must not die
No.
by corporate coaching. You cannot go to a school for 6 weeks and somebody gives you a stamped certificate, you're a coach. You become a professional babysitter and nothing else. They need knowledge. If you, that's why I'm saying, I've been to the dark a lot, horrible, but I've been to the light as well, and I walk both lines, and I can see, because I love this country, what this country has given us migrants.
Yes, it's good.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
So from 1958 here we are, it's 2019, a brand new season.
Yes, mate.
And you've taken us nearly to an hour,
Yeah.
and you still haven't told me your absolute #1 player
Okay.
that you would play with tomorrow if you had a chance, and someone you don't want to play with.
No. I'll tell you what. All the players that I played with
Yes?
and contributed to what our cause was, I love them all. From the height of Nestoridis
Yes?
and
Bedford.
Bedford and all these amazing players.
Abonyi?
Abonyi, we have something that nobody understands. We really,
You're like brothers. Yeah?
well, that really, because we were sleeping with a soccer ball in our beds when we went away with the under-14s to Sydney. People came from everywhere to watch an under-14 team play. We played football back then, but we carried that. And I would have loved to see Oti Abonyi be involved with the Australian team, and he should be. But he's not for some reason. They just been put aside.
Mm.
And I love my country here, as I love my heritage, and as I love being Greek, you understand? But I love Australia for what it has done. But I really don't want a bunch of second-hand babysitters to kill the dream. Do you know, George, that there are brilliant kids that are playing soccer today, and they get to a level and they do everything, but there's nowhere to go. Because we keep importing those second-hand players from South America, from Asia, from everywhere, and we don't give. If you have the A-League for 10 years without relegating or demoting themselves, they should have been practicing that. And today, we would have had the best team in the world, not only in Asia, but we haven't gone that way. We went there with silly ideas to create that, and without history, my friends out there, and history in the football game, we are nothing. And to start from scratch after so much work, and thank God to people like you, Georges, you guys here, for doing that, because that would really lighten that room that everybody's been living in the dark with football.
Well, George, from day one, has said that part of the Pioneers is to tell the story before the A-League and during the great times when the state leagues of Victoria, the state leagues of South Australia, New South Wales, Queensland, bred some fantastic natural talent.
Absolutely.
And they'll come back. Those days will come back.
But
The
what I'm
more
saying,
the story gets
yeah.
an opportunity to be exposed,
Yes.
the more the people will ask for it again. And once that hunger starts,
Yes.
it's a wonderful thing. As you discovered as a 9-year-old, running the streets of Cairo,
Wow.
how much fun you could have.
A lot.
That's it.
And a really secret of mine to all of you young kids who really want to make it. When you become 21 and 22, don't ever forget you're young. When you were young and you were a kid, put the same gusto and play soccer like a young kid. If you want to get somewhere, stay the boy. Because you know what? We're all boys. We play with a leather ball, it's got air in it. You understand? Don't change to... Tactics are okay, but don't be afraid, like Pushka said, to experiment. You can experiment a lot of things at training, but you have to experiment them on the ground. This is where it counts. And don't be afraid, to make a mistake because the coach is watching. Big deal. Coaches come and go. You guys are going to play longer. So please play naturally, enjoy it. Like Yvonne Goulgon, you know what happened? When she was playing the final of the Wimbledon, her first one, she calls her mother in Australia. Yvonne told me that story and we talk a lot about that. And she said, Mom, on early this morning, it's televised, I'm playing for the finals.
At Wimbledon.
You know what her mother said? Well, darling, as long as you have a good time. Wow.
No pressure.
Best
Philosophic.
Best
No pressure.
advice.
What?
No pressure.
Philosophical. You know what? And that's what I teach my kids. I've coached at Hallis with the ladies.
Let them play.
Yeah. Let them play, express. So what if they make a mistake? And that is the problem. We're afraid to make mistakes because somebody's watching you not to make a mistake. And that guy who's watching you knows nothing because he doesn't know a mistake.
Well, it was no mistake, G2, to get Mandalis on the
Master
Pioneers.
stroke by me, if you.
I think it's
do
a
say
master
so
stroke.
myself.
You've been trying for how long to get him here?
We've been trying since last year.
No, mate. No, honestly.
Why did it take you so
Georgie, I had some.
Goikinos came and sat there.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Why did it take you so long to get to
He
the
doesn't,
studio?
doesn't like emails.
No. This guy here. Listen to this. He calls me up. By now you know who I am, and my friends know me very. And you, George, you know me for such a long time. I've got Harry here who knows me. I thought you got used to me. He said, "Who is this guy?" I know you're saying that your husband gone like this from the moment you saw me.
He's terrified because he hasn't played one ad yet.
He hasn't.
No.
Okay.
Don't encourage him because they'll have to finish.
We have to finish. Go.
Oh, what was I saying now? I forgot what I was saying.
Why it took you so long to come on the show?
Okay.
That's right.
I had some things to do with my body. You know, I had some things, and I told you.
Yep.
And you know what? How else would you have it?
No, that's right.
Today's
And the
been a
bodybuilding-
great time.
The
you know?
bodybuilding you've been doing has been worth it.
I know what you
I said to G2,
Yeah.
he's doing this on purpose. He's building up the expectation, and when he's ready, good and ready,
Yeah.
He's making us
Mandalis
wait.
will come.
Guys,
Thank you for coming.
no, thank you so much for having me, and others, thank you for putting up with me. And George, nice to meet you from across. That's George Kotsanis.
Thank
That's
you.
the guy who told me to answer his email. But with George Donikian here, we go back a long time.
We do.
A really long time.
Not quite Egypt, but there you
No,
go.
no. Well, after your Egyptian story, I'd like to thank everybody that answered in the
Facebook.
And-
Peter Abraham said, fantastic legend.
Yeah.
Vutsina says, I'm listening.
Facebook
And
went
there are
off.
about 4 million other people who contributed.
Well,
So
listen,
bravo.
I'll tell you what.
Go.
I'm very happy to see you, all of you here. Thank you so much for bringing me here. But I would
Our
like
pleasure.
to come back again.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
Tell
do
you
that.
what, here's our promise. Get your act together.
Answer the email.
Get the story,
and we'll
get the
you back.
story sorted.
Wait till I get married again.
It's been a great show.
Oh, it's so
Super
lovely.
show.
Thank you so
Michali
much.
Mandalis, thank you for being here.
You're very welcome, Athos. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello. How easy was
FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Butsianis, no call! Score!
Salamidi for Cole. Cole on the run. Shoots. 2-0.
Lazanovsky with the free kick.
Launches a rocket!
Trimboli, what vision!
Rath blasts. Yes! That's it!
Miljevic.
Beautiful ball! Here's Bazanic. They haven't! They might have won it!
The Pioneers with George Donikian and George Kotsanis on FNR, Football Nation Radio.